Hello DNN community, I'm Will Stroll and I'm thrilled to bring you today's demo. But first, I need to talk to you a little bit about GitHub sponsors. I'm just asking for your support. You might know me from my work over the years in the DNN forums, might even have answered a question of yours, or perhaps you've read my blogs or watched one of my videos on DNN, or attended some of the events I've founded or spoken at. As someone who's personally spent years exploring and sharing my knowledge about DNN CMS, I'm asking for your partnership. Your partnership will enable more development, tutorials, tools, resources, all dedicated to our shared passion for DNN. So whether you're just starting out or you're an expert, your support will fuel our community's growth and innovation. So together, we can make a difference in the world of DNN. A link to our sponsor page will be in the video below. And that's it. Let's get to the demo. Thank you. Well, hello again, DNN fans. I'm Will Stroll, and I'm going to walk you through some updates we just did to UpendoDNN Generator version 1.10.0. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm in a demo environment. You can see that I got Visual Studio already open, but I also have Visual Studio Code open. I'm going to be running the terminal from there just because of Amazon Workspace challenges. Anyhow, I've already went into the the folder I need to be in, and at this point, I'm just going to run our trusty command, yo UpendoDNN, which again means I love DNN. Okay, so if you're watching this, you've probably already seen at least one demo of this before, or maybe you're using this. But if you upgrade to the most recent version, we got some cool things for you. So the first thing is, I'm just going to go over actually a few of the last releases. So we've recently added an authentication provider for you, so you can get up and running with that quite quickly. And in Hotcakes, we have added all of the extensions, and this release brings in the view sets. So we have the order workflow, action delegate integration, credit card gateway, gift card gateway, payment method, tax provider, view set. We got it all. So it's pretty awesome. Now if I make a mistake, if I want to start over, I'm just going to do Control-C and then run the command again. And here we are. So just for sake of demo, I'm just going to real quick go to the next feature I want to show to you. And I'm just going to use that first extension just to keep things simple. And I'm not training on this right now. We have other videos for that. So I'm going to go ahead and call this Acme Rocket, let's call it HR Management. Like that's going to be our, maybe that's our pretend module here. Okay. And we're going to say yada, yada, and just leave it at the second yada because the third one is copyrighted. Okay, so a bunch of things just happened, right? So we just installed a module and some other things happened. We're going to go and look at that right now. So one of the more recent things that we did for you is you go back to Visual Studio and you don't have to go look for it, right? So your extensions are automatically going to be added to your solution. There's no need for you to do any additional steps. You just go back and reopen it, or just go back to it if it was already open. Okay, so that's something we added recently. And the next thing we added is we wanted to make versioning a lot easier for you. So if you've used this before, you know that if you build in debug mode, you move all this into your development site and you can go ahead and start to refresh the page or whatever and get started with testing, right? If you build it in release mode, you're doing that because you want to release it, right? So it packages it up for you. But we just made packaging even faster and easier for you. So I'm going to go ahead and build in debug mode. So we got Upendo modules, Acme Rocket HR Manager. And if I go into the website and go into the bin, we of course will have, oh, sorry, I forgot which letter it was going to be. We of course will have our DLL's down there, and it got moved. Now, the other thing that it'll do is when I go to release mode, it's going to put a version of that module there, right? The package. So I'm going to come into Visual Studio, switch to release mode, and rebuild. There we go. So now we have our first version. We can go take that to a test environment, UAT, or production, whatever it is, whichever stage it actually is in. Now, when it comes to version 2, if we need to do something, we want to version it so that way in our different environments we know what version's out there, right? And so when you version a DNN extension completely, there's a number of places you might need to update. So I'm going to open a few files here. I've got the assembly info opening, and I'm going to open up the main manifest file and the symbols manifest file because, again, we create the symbols files as well, right? So that makes it easier for troubleshooting in different environments as well. Now, under a typical release, make this bigger. There we go. In a typical release, we might need to be calling this version 2, right? Maybe we did a lot of work and now we're on version 2. That's not the only place we'd have to change that, right? So we got version 2 here, but if we're being responsible and we want this to not get buggy, we'll want to also change it in a number of other places, including the uninstall script for SQL. We'd want to change it there. Notice I didn't do that yet. And then we'd also want to change it here if we are trying to take advantage of iPortable. And as well as making sure our DLL actually gets deployed, we want to change it here as well. So that's just your first manifest. There's several places we need to update. Then we have our symbols manifest. We need to update this one too, so it matches up with both the actual version and the dependency check version, so that way we don't have any issues trying to install it. And then finally, versioning the DLL itself. So that's several different places. It'd be super easy to make some sort of mistake or just forget it entirely, right? So what I'm going to do is, if you just noticed, the only place I changed that version number is right here in the main version number. And this is the main one that DNN cares about anyway. So I still have my folder over here, and I'm just going to leave it in release mode. I haven't changed it yet. And I'm going to rebuild. Okay, it says it was successful. So version 2 is still there, but now watch this. Boom, version 2. Boom, version 2, right? It just saved us a ton of time. All the version numbers are all updated for you, and of course it's going to be the same way in there. And it doesn't matter what the next version is, right? So you can have maybe the next version is 2019 let's say 2023 and 8/21 and then some sort of timestamp or something, right? Maybe that's our new versioning convention. I just save that, and then we rebuild again. Whatever your versioning number scheme, it'll work. So I hope you enjoyed that. We are very excited about this release because it brings us to one of our original visions of this tool. Finally, it's a good milestone for us, and we love doing this. So I think you know this is coming, but please, if you're getting value out of any of these tools or any of these pieces of content that we're creating for you, we just invite you to support us as well. So please sponsor us for any value you can on GitHub. When you're there, you'll just see that icon like you see in the screen right now, and you'll also be in the links below this video and in the blogs that you're reading as well. So we're trying to make things easy for you across the board, really. So we look forward to hearing how this saves you tons of time in your own environments with your own teams, and have a great DNN week. Bye.